What's up, guys? Grimsy42 here, back with week 9 of my garage sailing chronicles, and I had a pretty decent week, I am not gonna lie. It was a pretty good weekend. It started out pretty crappy, and I was definitely worried. The Friday that we went out was really not that hot. It was all rainy and kind of gloomy out. But there were a few neighborhood sales that said rain or shine, so we hit those up, and I did find a few things, so I'll go ahead and show you now. The first thing I found actually turns out that it's pretty valuable. I paid $2 for it, and it's a sealed Pinochle by Radica Games. And again, Pinochle is really not my type of game. I think it's like popular with senior citizens. But I looked this up, and it's like $50 on eBay. So sometimes more. I've seen it go as high as 60 plus. So I'm definitely happy to grab this for $2. That'll definitely be some gas money or some game money. So I was definitely happy to grab that. And then the only video games that I found on Friday actually were all at one place, and it was a big stack of games. And I did wind up bundling them. So I'll just go ahead and show you. The first one is the Platinum Hits of Fable, and normally I don't buy, Platinum Hits or Greatest Hits or Player's Choice. I only buy the Black Label games, but I did pick this one up because it had all of the downloadable content included. So anytime it's a different version of the game, I'll pick up the Player's Choice, or in this case the Platinum Hits, just because it's cool to have that extra content. Okay, the next one is the first Gears of War. Also complete, and these are all in really, really good shape. Next is Gears of War 2. And believe it or not, I actually didn't have either this or the first Gears of War. I do have them, but it's a different version. What I have is the Gears of War triple pack. It's actually still sealed. I picked this up at a Best Buy Black Friday midnight special for like $6. And I haven't opened it yet just because I've owned Gears 1 and 2 in the past and played the heck out of them. So I'm actually really glad that I picked up the Gears 1 and 2 now. That way I don't have to open that one. I can keep it sealed. So I'm really happy to grab those, and they were really, really cheap. They're like $1 or $2. The next one is Mass Effect 2. And it's complete. And I've never actually played the Mass Effect series. It looks really, really good, so I'll definitely try it out once I get part 1. But I was very happy to grab that. And the last 3 I'll show all at once just because they're just crappy sports titles. And they were only $1 a piece, and I actually did wind up getting 1 or 2 of them free when I bundled up anyway. So it's Tiger Woods 07, Madden 2007, and Madden 2009. So, like I said, I wound up getting, I think, $1 for all 3 of these, and the cases were really nice on them, so I figure if anything I could just swap out a better game with the cases. But anyways, I got this big stack. It's like 7 games. And I paid I think it was $10 for everything, so I didn't think it was too bad of a deal, and I already found that Pinochle, so, Friday wasn't a total bust. It could have been better, but I took what I had, and Saturday was a lot better. The weather was definitely better. The first place we wound up going was a specific sale that said they had video games, so I was definitely excited. My buddy actually wound up getting a lot more at this sale than I did. I just got a few things, and actually it was stuff that I tossed in with what he got to, to get a good bundle price. The first thing was an N64 game, because he actually wound up getting like an N64 and a whole bunch of games with like GoldenEye and stuff like that. He got a really good price. But the one Star Wars, or the one game rather, which is Star Wars, that I nabbed was one I didn't have. It's Star Wars Episode 1, Battle for Naboo. And then the only other thing I grabbed at that sale was some Game Boy games. And the first one is Missile Command. Next is Tamagotchi. Next is Centipede. Next one is it's a double pack. It's Joust and Defender. And lastly, and probably the coolest one, is Tasmania. So I wound up grabbing all of those, and I want to say I threw him like $5 towards what he spent, and he bundled up, so he got a pretty good deal. I think he spent like $30 for everything he got. Another thing that I got from garage sales was actually something he gave me that his girlfriend picked up for him at a garage sale. She found like it's like a 30 or 40 game Xbox lot, and the games are all like 50 cents each. And this was a game I enjoyed playing as a younger adult, I guess. It was, you know, the early 90s, I think. Or 2003, actually, so 10 years ago. But anyways, it was a classic, and that's Counter-Strike. So like I said, out of all the games he wanted, this was one I definitely wanted to pick up, and he was cool enough to give it to me, so I was happy to grab that. Okay, the next sale I went to didn't have anything video game related, but I asked her, and she said that she had a Sega that was like in her basement, and she went and she grabbed everything and she brought it out, and there really was not much there. It was a Genesis and some games, but the games were like all sports titles. But I actually did wind up picking up 2 games, and they're both complete, and they're both in really good shape, so I was definitely okay grabbing these. I want to say I got them both for like $3 or $4. It wasn't much. And the first one is a complete copy of NBA Jam. And next, this one's actually decently valued. I think it's like a $20 or $30 game. It's Tiny Toon Adventures Acme All-Stars. So I did grab those. Unfortunately, there were really no other games that were, you know, even worth picking up. But I was happy to grab those. You know, it's always good to get complete games. The next sale we went to, I don't know if my buddy got anything. I'm trying to think, but I only picked up one game, and the cover art for the game was actually intact, but the plastic that holds it on was actually torn right off. So I've since then replaced it with an official case, just because it's a pretty decent title. And I got it for a couple bucks, so I was definitely happy to do that. And it's Mario Party 4. And it's complete. Okay, the next couple things is actually from, it's all from one big block sale we went to. And as we walked down the street, we kept finding more and more stuff. The first place was selling games, I think it was like $1 a piece, but they were like, you could bundle up and get like 6 for $5 or something like that. And we definitely, my friend and I, we got in and we split it up. And I actually wound up getting 3 greatest hits games, which is something I normally do not do, but you know, for what the games were, I was willing to do it. The first is Crash Team Racing. And this is the only non-greatest hits out of this pile. The second is kind of like a spin-off of Mario Party. It's Crash Bash, which is kind of like Sony's version of Mario Party. Next is the original Crash Bandicoot. I remember having a heck of a time with this when I was a kid. I really loved it. I was 16 when it came out, and I really got a kick out of it. And then lastly, and this one's actually in really good shape, is Crash 2 Cortex Strikes Back. And I don't know if the camera will do justice, but if you can see, it's really shiny. It's in really good shape. The disc looks like it's like never been touched. So, and that's rare in PlayStation games, because usually by the time I find them, they've gone through hell. So, anyways, I wound up grabbing those for just a couple bucks. So that was definitely a good deal. And the next place that I went to had a couple DS games, and I really was only interested in one of them, but I actually wound up grabbing a few more. And I'll show them in order of my interest for them, rather than value or whatnot. So I'm looking through them, and I asked the gentleman who was running the sale, if, you know, how much he wanted for the games, and he says, "Oh, they're not his. He'll have to ask the boss." So I'm assuming it's his wife. And I wait a few seconds, and his daughter comes over, and she's like, I don't know, 10 years old, and apparently she's the boss. So I asked her how much they were, and she said make an offer. So the one I actually wanted was Diddy Kong Racing DS, which is complete in there. But she actually did 3 for $5. So I was looking through and trying to find 2 more. So I found Ridge Racer DS. And the third one's a lot harder to find because these were pretty crappy games. But I wound up grabbing Shrek Super Slam. It's kind of like a fighting game featuring Shrek, which is really weird. But anyways, to grab all those for $5 was a no-brainer, and I was totally okay with that. And then the last stop on this like long stretch had a decent pile of PS2 games, and I wound up picking up 6 of them. So I'll just go ahead and show you. The first one is Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. Complete. Next one is Prince of Persia and the Sands of Time. Also complete. Next is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Complete. Next one is Kingdom Hearts 2. Unfortunately, it's the greatest hits, so I'll be trying to upgrade ASAP. Also complete. Next one is Justice League Heroes. And lastly is Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is also complete. And all these games were anywhere between $1 and $3 a piece, and there's 6 here. And I think it totaled to like 14 or something, but I offered 10 and the guy took it. So that was definitely really cool of him, and I was definitely grateful for that. And the last thing that I got, I was very happy to find it, and believe it or not, I'm going to go ahead and call it the find of the week. Alright, so this last thing that I got, it was pretty cool. It was a nice little bundle, and unfortunately it was the only video game related item that was available, but I was definitely not going to complain. The first part to it is a original Game Boy in like immaculate condition. I don't know if you can tell, but it is just in phenomenal shape, and it actually works like a charm, so I was totally happy to grab that. But it came with some stuff. A couple games here. The first one is Centipede and Millipede. It's kind of like a 2-pack, and it's got the little case there, which is really cool. The next one actually came with the manual also, and it's Kirby's Dream Land. Like I said, it came with the manual, so that was that was really cool, because you don't usually see Game Boy manuals or especially boxes, just due to their age and the fact that people threw them away. And the last thing wasn't really nothing special, but it does feature the price of what I paid for all of it, and it actually works still. It's a magnifying lens and a light, and I don't know if you can see the price right there, but I wound up getting all that for $3. So the little magnifying lens, the Kirby, the 2-pack of Centipede and Millipede, and a pretty much perfect condition original Game Boy for $3. So I honestly think that was the find of the week. It was amazing. I was totally happy, and my buddy was pretty jelly. He definitely wishes he would have beat me to the punch on that one, but I was really happy to grab that. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week, and stay tuned for more. and take care.